All right. Back to the top of the round. Rin, what are you up to?
Oh, actually, did I assume Severe came with me, but I didn't check.
Zafir has been mildly tailing you. He's occasionally gotten distracted with different things, but for the most part has at least remained in your vicinity.
Gotcha. I turn to him and I say, "All right, your turn.
What do you mean, my turn?
You need shit, don't you?"
I mean, we bought the sword yesterday.
Yeah, a sword. Whoop-de-doo. A sword does not a warrior make.
Fair, but I can't necessarily buy training down here.
No, you can't. That's what I'm for. However, what you can do is buy supplies that'll aid you in your training.
Okay,
Like,
like what?
and I poke him very hard in the shoulder. Armor.
He doesn't react. uh, sure. Um, I mean, sure.
Or if you're feeling ballsy, we can get wow. What?
I heard your
Someone please
brain
remind me
glitched.
what I was saying.
Uh,
You're
instead
looking
of
for
armor
stuff
for
for Zafir.
Zafir.
Uh,
Your shield, bracers,
no,
gauntlets,
no, 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 no.
more weapons,
Um,
a flash cape.
You were going for something ballsier than running
yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
battle armored.
Yeah. If you're feeling
Loincloth.
ballsy, we can skip the armor and just get you a ring or something that'll enhance your vision so people can't sneak up on you as easily.
They make those.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't mind that.
All right, well, let's go try and find you a neat ring.
All right. Specifically, what ring are you referring to?
Either a ring of detect magic or sort of like I've got a rapier of warning, so like a ring of warning.
Uh, uh,
Like one of those, something to enhance his vision because he's got dark vision. So like, but he can't necessarily detect if something's
yeah,
magical or not. So like either magical traps or something to help him detect enemies easier.
he is not the most perceptive boy. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check as you look for a magic shop for that.
Investigation. That's a 9.
Okay. I am looking for a magic item that might help you here. So, all in all, looking around this underground bazaar, you find a few different places that sell enchanted items. Uh, the closest thing you end up finding to anything you're looking for is one practitioner who is selling a ring of mind shielding, but no rings of warning, no rings of enhanced vision, nothing like that at the moment.
I see.
Not with a 9 at the very least.
Yes, this is fair.
I
Well,
will, however, say that probably half the reason that you don't find more magic shops is because making your way through the bazaar and getting farther and farther in, you end up coming to a place where the caves that have been well carved in a very ancient O'Haran style. Not necessarily from before the Sundrance, but at the very least, not at all new. The caves you would guesstimate are probably at least 1,000 years old, and were probably built from the city that Coruzzo was built on top of, as a lot of cities in this area are. But the caves that you're walking through end up opening up, and Zephyr almost trips into it before you're able to catch him. A small banister overlooks what appears to be a large caged fighting ring, in the base of which you see two large canines having at each other as a group of middle-aged men cheer and make bets.
Middle-aged men.
They're the worst.
Okay. Out of curiosity, is Zephyr allowed to roll to find a magic ring?
No, he is not.
Damn
Not
it.
in this instance.
Worth a shot.
He was raised by a wizard.
Worth a shot.
Shouldn't I give him advantage?
Yeah, who didn't let him leave the house without him being by his side.
Worth a shot. I'll point out the ring of mind shielding in case that's something he feels like that's something worth and that he's interested in.
He kind of scoffs at it.
Don't scoff. You've never truly lived until your blade is at your friend's throat and not by your own hand.
I do believe that is, in fact, the weirdest thing anyone has said to me, and I live with Darian.
Goes to show the field you're about to be working in.
Zephyr, however, is very taken with the fighting ring.
You want to try?
Can you? Is that the thing here?
Do they look like they care?
Fair enough. Do you want to come with?
Yeah, sure. Someone's got to go screaming to a medic in case you're bleeding out.
That's so encouraging.
Well, I'm good at screaming. Might as well.
Is Darian anywhere in earshot of this?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
We're like right behind him.
My father senses are tingling. That's caught.
There is a shiver down my spine.
My people need me. I must go. Perception. What is my bonus? Oh, it's alphabetical. Okay, that makes more sense. 13.
13? I'll say that Darian has not approached from the same way, but he has found the fighting ring. And as you
Close enough.
think, Zephyr would love this. You see a red-skinned, hornless tiefling followed by a white-skinned, horned
Yeah, that
tiefling
checks out.
descending a set of stairs, heading towards a place where you see a couple of nicely dressed gentlemen who are sitting around, surrounding a few tables that overlook the fighting ring, but don't appear to be terribly invested in what's going on.
I'm going to
Scream.
kind of like walk after them, like not jog, not run, but I'm gonna
Make a survival check.
to go around and catch up with.
To find your way through the maze of tunnels to find a way to get to the staircase where they were.
Ah, fuck. Okay, that's a natural 13 survival. That's a 16.
Okay.
Please tell
Good
me
to
he
know.
does it. I want him to do it. I want him to do it really badly.
What is he? What is he saying?
Rin doesn't know. And neither does Darian. We're gonna get there. Just out of curiosity, where is Liberty at the moment?
She is also confused and lost in the tunnels.
I will say,
Oh,
on that point, on the confused and lost in the tunnels, there are quite a few that have collapsed. There are a few that have been either reopened or just made. It's a maze down here. It's really easy to find shops because they're freaking everywhere, but it's hard to find anything specific. But yeah.
looking around at all of the chaos and such as I step back outside of the icon makers shop. I'm going to pray for some direction and try to find the rest of my party. Because guidance. Hey, I said guidance before you
Fair
asked
enough.
for a roll.
Question was, does that mean I don't have guidance now? Or no, the bless.
That's
No,
different.
you
Yeah.
have vigilant. That's different. This is the cantrip.
Okay. So is mine specifically for advantage on initiative rolls?
It is just initiative rolls,
Okay,
but there's
just
no
curious.
time limit, and
Just
the
curious.
only way would be if I was like someone else made it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking for my boys.
Where are all of the children? All of them.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Perception. There we go. Why? Roll 4 on the D4, and I have a +3 for perception, so that's 8.
Hobbit, how's your Discord?
Yeah, you may want to restart Discord.
Okay.
What was the roll in total though?
Total of 8 with my natural one.
Jeez.
Yeah, I rolled max on the guidance die.
Well, restart Discord, and by the time you're back, I might have something for you. So Rin, you looked over everything, have scoped out that most likely that people who are in charge.
Teaching, so that, oh. Sorry, I didn't realize you were.
Okay. The people who are in charge are most likely the people who are on the pedestal overlooking everything. They appear from your preliminary glance to be counting out money.
Oh, good. They're those types. Hail and well met and all that stuff adventurers are supposed to say. You taking free? What's the admission price?
It depends who's fighting.
This guy.
Zafir kind of isn't sure what to do with his hands.
Stick them in your pockets.
He sticks them in his pockets. Go check it out. The human older man gestures to a younger, sprier half elf gentleman who stands, just puts his drink down and comes down, looks Zafir up and down. For a fight for him, just him, probably $50. By bucks, I mean gold pieces.
I was worried you were breaking canon there for a second, but don't worry, it's all good. How's that sound for you?
I mean, yeah,
Go solo?
I believe I have 50 gold on me. I'm down to fight.
Alrighty. I'll be your ringman.
Tell me, do you prefer humanoids or beasts? I haven't fought a beast for a while. Beast it is, and I'll take your pay now. Zafir
Oh,
reaches
the
back
precious
and
boy.
begins counting out 50 gold pieces. All right. Make sure to still be here in 20 minutes.
Will do. And Rin pulls Saphir over. Say, all right. Beasts are a little different from people. They're not going to be predictable, so you have to anticipate what they're going to do.
But I thought you said that they aren't going to be predictable. How am I going to predict something that is in its essence unpredictable?
Exactly.
It's
You
kind of
need to get
smart.
a feel for their movement rather than their pattern. Humanoids tend to work in a pattern. They've got sets and moves that they'll do, sword combinations and the like. Beasts don't have that. They just act on instinct. They're instinctive fighters, which means you're going to either have to out instinct them, or you're going to have to figure out what they're going to do just before they do it. how much pressure they put on a certain paw, the way they turn their head, that sort of thing. You can't you can anticipate them, but you can't. There's a difference between anticipation and anticipation. You can prepare yourself for something someone's about to do, but you can't know exactly what it is. That is anticipation versus prediction. You cannot predict a beast, but you can anticipate it.
So expect to not know what I am expecting.
Wow, you make it sound a lot more confusing when you say it.
And he thought Darian was bad.
Basically, watch how it moves and make sure to aim low. Most of them are about waist to shoulder height on you.
Aim low. That I can do.
And the neck and between the first and second ribs on the chest are good.
First and second ribs on the chest. Okay, got it. Anything else?
Watch your shins in the back of your knees.
Shins in the back of my knees. Got it. Is that all?
That's in 15 minutes. That's about the most I can give you.
Okay. It's about this time, Darian, that you have approached Rin very frantically talking to a very nervous-looking, perspirating Zephyr.
Has Zephyr already walked away?
No, they're still standing there.
Oh, hi, Mark.
The thing is, we know that's in character to
Yeah.
fucking Deadpool over there.
Don't give him that kind of power.
I already have
What is
that kind of
this?
power, Hobbit.
Rin, what are you doing?
What am I doing? Nothing.
What?
I'm just
Rin-
watching.
Rin, what did you do?
I didn't do anything.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Didn't even pay for
So
it.
help me, Rin. You put him a fight. You're
I
having a
didn't.
fight. Or do you
No,
not?
he did it himself.
You brought him down here. Don't fucking lie to me.
No, I didn't. He brought himself down here. He's got 2 legs.
My gods.
Trust me, your son here is a very capable
How-
walker. He can bring himself places.
I will kick your ass.
You may try.
Yes, we've already had that discussion. I'm not sure. How long till the fight?
10 minutes.
Who is he fighting?
Beast.
A beast or beasts?
No idea, actually. They didn't specify on if it was the plural or the singular.
I can only
I'll be
imagine.
interested to find out.
I can only imagine you placed wagers.
Not yet. I actually spent all my gold on useful things instead of gambling like a fool.
You have not placed bets.
No, of course not. Only a
Do
fool
you-
gambles.
I know you don't believe that.
You don't know me well enough to know whether or not I believe that or not.
So I trust you don't intend to put a wager.
Can't put a wager with no money.
Okay, well,
Actually, you know what?
he's already
Maybe.
signed up. Darian addresses Zephyr. I'm sure he has given you a pep talk. I do not have much else to add.
As you turn to talk to Zephyr, you hear the very tail end of a conversation between him and a half-elven gentleman. You have to have a ring name. I've never done this before. I will make something up for you. Don't worry.
Hey, Zephyr, how
The
about you?
half-elven.
Spider-Man.
Half-elven gentleman walks away. Say again.
Zephyr, what did you just do?
I am enlisted to fight in the ring because it
No,
looked like fun.
Did you just give away your marketing rights to a total stranger?
I don't. What do you mean by marketing rights?
Did you tell him he could make a cool name for you?
I honestly, actually, no, I didn't. He said that he was going to do that himself.
And you didn't protest it.
I didn't have the time. You both started talking to me. What do you want?
You have lost your marketing rights.
Sure.
Total
Okay.
stranger.
Sure. Okay.
That's less money for you in the future.
Sure. Okay.
Youth.
Zephyr, he has already pep talked you, as I said before. I am sure you will do well. John, watch your back.
I am already watching the backs of my shins and knees. I don't need to watch my back as well. I only have 2 eyes.
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
We'll
Can
watch your...
I hear the aneurysm in progress yet?
It's about now that you found the opposite side of the ring. The dog fight is coming to a close, and from your elevated position, you can see the very, very easy to spot Rin, and then the rest of them.
As always.
If anything, Rin is
Okay.
making himself even easier to spot.
Exactly.
He's now
Yep.
at the point where he's so white he's reflecting
Like
metal.
he's slowly adding like traceries of gold leaf across like his arms and shoulders.
Love it. Love it.
Okay, well, the very least, watch your neck. Animals will go for the neck.
I was supposed to watch their neck, but
Do
I am
both.
watching my neck now too.
Yes.
Okay.
Hit it
Don't
until it...
confuse him.
Just hit it. Hit the thing. Do the thing. Hit it. Smack it.
Okay. Instead of listening
What?
to a mage who's yet never used a weapon,
Brilliant insight.
instead of listening to the foofy wizard boy who's never used a real weapon in his life, just listen to what I said.
I will try to keep all of the points that have been made to me in 5 minutes straight.
Fantastic plan. You probably won't die.
Great. What have I set myself up for?
Well, I could tell you, but that would ruin the surprise.
Oh, that's so much worse.
You'll be fine.
Probably.
I need to go. And then Darian starts to walk away. Darian would like to look for a place better. Or a bet holder.
For what?
A bet
A
holder.
book.
Oh,
Bookie.
a bet holder. The gentlemen who are counting coin up on the raised pedestal probably are your best bet.
Okay. I'm going to get lost, but I'm going to look for that. I'm going to go that way.
It's not that far from you. It's like
Okay. That's where I'm going.
30 feet away.
I don't know if Zephyr notices or not. I just excuse myself and leave.
Yeah, he notices that you excuse yourself and leave. And
Or
probably
Rin,
Rin,
I mean.
since you're right there, you do see the face of a boy whose dad decided not to show up for a softball game.
No.
Is it fear?
In Zephyr.
Yes. The
Do I- do I-
24-year-old
do I-
man.
Do I see where he's heading?
Darian?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be able to put 2 and 2 together. Zephyr,
Hey.
not so much.
Hey, Zephyr,
What?
wipe the look on your face. He's going to bet on you.
No, he's not. Going to
Really?
bet
So
on whatever I'm
that's
fighting.
exactly why he's heading towards the bet holders to place probably what I suspect is a fairly significant bet on your name.
I have never known him to make such a rash monetary decision.
Can he see
Yeah?
me from
So
where
why
he
did-
is?
Right now, you're more or less obscured.
Okay. Because that'd be really funny if, like, Red just, like, pointed and you could see me, like, exchanging and talking to someone.
Well, no, he can see that you're talking to people, but that doesn't mean that you're making a bet.
Fair enough.
He's probably
I-
asking
I
them
have
to
to
make
remember
the
my
fight easier on me, is all.
Okay, 2 things. That's cute. A. B. Actually, no. There's 3 things. A. That's cute. B. No, he's not.
Poor things of a
And
wizard.
C. Watch. I will bet you 5 gold that he pulls out a purse.
I literally just spent all of my money on this.
Then I'd suggest you not take that bet because I'm going to win it.
I'm not going to take that bet.
Exactly.
How can you even see where his pockets are from this angle?
I'm a thief, you fool.
Quick, lift Zephyr up on your shoulders.
It's about now
Yikes.
that Liberty has found her way down to your guys' position as well.
Now, question: do we see him pull out a purse?
I don't know. Do they see Darian pulling out a purse?
I'm
Or how discreet is Darian about that?
I mean, it's a black market, so betting's not illegal. I would take it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
casually, not flaunting. I was debating because it's like I could like flip a coin vertically and then catch it, like as a sign, but it's like no, because Darian would see that as pressure. So he will make an exchange just hand to hand.
Okay.
Hand to hand.
Go ahead and make a perception check, Rin.
Alrighty, I'm good at those.
From the direction I am coming, am I hitting the betting tables before I get down to our two tiefling boys, or do I get to them first?
You're having to go around the low wall that the betting tables are at to be able to get to them. Yes.
That's a 16, Professor.
16? You will notice that Darian does semi dang it.
Casually?
Casually,
Lack of a better word.
stealthily, in between there. How much are you betting, actually?
If I see the Darians at the betting tables, I'll pause to hear this interaction.
I'll take a perception check from you then.
Okay.
Darian doesn't know what the name is, so Darian kind of points down to him. I don't know what he's on the roster as, but the tiefling down there without the horns. 50 gold, he wins.
50 gold. All right, pay.
Rin points at Darian as this happens and says, "Told you."
It's a bribe. It's a bribe.
Why would they don't accept bribes? They have no reason to rig the game. And you're
This is
all due respect,
underground.
Darian does not have the fucking potent immoral potency to possibly secure a bribe from anyone, much less an underground fight ring.
You have quite a bit to learn.
I have a +3 persuasion, but that is
13.
not enough to bribe an entire table. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is here.
With a 13, I'm gonna say
Standing
that
like right next to the
you've
table.
been
Or right
focused.
below.
Yeah, you're right below, which is actually more the problem. You've been focusing on trying to get
Oh.
to Rin because he was the one you noticed. So you're
Okay.
probably not actually going to notice Darian.
Okay. I hit the number of the tables.
But yeah.
Bribes don't
I'd-
exist
I-
at his level.
I would say that you make it to Rin and Zephyr at this point, Liberty.
Wonderful.
Here, we'll let Liberty
So-
solve this. Hey, does it look like Darian's bribing the guy over there?
Now's when you notice Darian.
Now's when I notice it. So I did not overhear his conversation. I just noticed him over there. However, I would be concerned if Darian was trying to bribe these sort of folks.
See?
He is just smart dumb enough to do it.
No, he's not. He's not rigging the fight. He's profiting from it.
Wait, what fight? Why would Darian be bribing the men at the betting tables? Are you guys trying to
Oh, it
fix the
turns out
fight
he's
yourselves?
actually no. It actually turns out Darian's an enthusiastic gambler.
At this point in time,
All
the
the fighting
half-elven
ring,
gentleman
he
comes
could
up.
hardly help himself.
The half-elven gentleman comes up to your group and says, "All right, come with me, boy."
Well, that's awkward.
I hope his
I'm
name's not
sorry,
boy.
what?
Please tell me he didn't write him down as boy.
Zephyr
The kid.
is taken away from you guys as he is led away
Rin,
to
what is
begin
going
his
on?
fight.
Good luck. Have fun. Send letters.
Rin, what is he doing?
Dance school. What does it look like he's doing? There's an arena right there.
It's great when it's not attacking me.
There's a very long sigh. Hamada, protect me from fools.
Yeah, I'm not included in that number. He did this himself. I just showed him how to do it safely and with protection.
The skepticals are on at this point.
I didn't tell him to do it. It was all his idea. I didn't even have to roll a deception check because it's perfectly true.
Did you bring him over here?
No, he found the place himself. I just let him down and showed him how to do it so he didn't put his foot in his mouth. He's going to do it anyway, so either he do it safely or he do it like an idiot, which you know he was going to do.
Contrary to popular belief, my gifts as a cleric do not necessarily give me the ability to read minds. So no,
I'm somehow not shocked.
Oh,
sorry, I should have acted surprised. Be still, my beating heart.
Yeah.
It's about this time that Darian has rejoined the group.
Oh, hello. How'd your bet go?
We shall find out.
Your son thinks you were bribing the guy to give him an easier fight.
Of course he does. I don't blame him. That would be.
Let's at least get to a place where we can see the fight well enough.
I found a spot up there. Let's go. Come on.
Yes. And at the end of this, you better make a big show of going and retrieving that money. I want to be proven right, damn it.
As you guys
You can
all
walk
move
alongside.
It's not about.
You can walk alongside.
It's not
me.
about Zephyr's relationship. It's about proving he was right.
Yes, it is.
As you guys
Rin, you can
make
walk
your
next to
way,
me.
Marvelous.
you guys make your way to a good vantage point to be able to see the fight. And as you guys begin to settle, you hear an individual from the side of the ring, voice magically amplified. Tonight we have a new fighter who has come to join the ring, blown in from the desert sands. Red Steel. The gates on one side of the cage open, and you see poor Zephyr, who is not good with being in front of a group of people, which is very obvious to all of you.
Hey, I have a horrible question.
Yes.
Do they have those horrible trumpets we give out at sporting events
Don't.
for the really annoying people to have fun with?
Please no. You know, I'm gonna say if thaumaturgy exists for the announcer, it probably exists for the casters in the crowd too.
Roll me a persuasion check for the DM.
Alrighty. I
Um,
fucking got this. I'm so fucking persuasive.
You don't get a
Well,
you don't get a
he's-
bonus. It's raw.
16.
rules as written, he does get a bonus. So
Shh.
There are
meant
hand
the roll was raw.
horns that go for like 2 copper.
Yes.
What are my cantrips again?
are our seats within 30 feet of the far side of the arena?
Of the far
how-
side of the arena? No.
How well protected are these?
What?
The horns? Are you
The
just
horns.
gonna try to steal one?
Absolutely.
Not very well protected. They
Excellent.
cost 2 copper.
Excellent. I'll steal one.
Still two.
Okay,
Because 2
sleight of hand
pennies.
check. Unless you crit fail this, it's not gonna be a
I
problem.
really want you to crit fail though, because this is such a stupid.
Actually,
thing
I
to
got close. I
steal.
rolled a 3, but all told, that's a 13.
Yeah, you're fine.
Excellent. I just kind of nick one with my tail as we go past.
Ah, I
And
was gonna.
so at the first sight of Zephyr, you just hear it, like the crowd's quiet, and then you just hear.
How does it go?
I'm not repeating that noise. You've got one soundbite of it, and that's it. Use it well.
Let me make it.
Tonight, the new fighter Red Steel will be facing
Oh,
against a giant toad. From the other side, the other gate raises, and a large amphibian almost like creature begins to just shamble its way out. Green skin that appears to be slick with either oil or water. It lumbers its way out from the other side, and Zephyr brings the sword off of his shoulder and throws the scabbard to one corner as he prepares himself.
Well, this will
They
be
roll for
interesting.
initiative.
This will be interesting. He threw away his scabbard, and I expected cats, not a toad.
Darian
It's
leans over
Haven's
the
pet fighting Kelso's pet.
I do have a battle map,
Darian leans over to
and
Rin.
I do actually have the minis for this. So,
Watch
yeah,
the DM play with his toys.
let's play with toys.
We play Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, to be fair, Kelso, there was that one episode where Travis starts to do it and no one joins in, and he's the only one. They all leave him hanging. So it's still in keeping with the theme that no one joined you at the beginning.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
so Zephyr, giant toad.
I will say that when the thing comes shambling in, as despite being a toad, for some reason shambling is the word I go to because why?
Shambling.
Such a good word.
¿Por qué no?
Darian leans over to Rin. What the chakur is that? Is that literally
It's a
just
giant toad.
it's
I
it's
don't-
literally a giant toad.
Yes, it was in the name.
I was
What else do you want?
I was expecting dogs, to be honest.
I was expecting some kind of big cat, but here we are.
Close enough. I was something, yeah, something with teeth.
Yeah, or claws.
Watch the
Well, to be
toad
fair,
have teeth.
it could be worse than a giant toad. He just needs to watch out for the tongue.
Darian
So,
hides his snicker.
Yeah, he's pretty good with his mouth.
But am I as good with my hands?
and
You
this
guys
is the
are going to
BBG that
No,
got
we didn't say-
extra HP.
We didn't
Going-
say the whole phrase. It doesn't count.
No.
You're going to get Zephyr killed by the giant frog.
Well, it was for a worthy cause.
I feel like we should
Was-
get
was
some
it worth
sort
it,
of
though?
leniency with that because that was a group effort, which is saying a lot for the two of us.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the leniency.
group-minded
The
as hell.
leniency is that you guys aren't dying from the thing that gets the extra HP. It's Zephyr.
I believe in my son. He's fine.
Could be worse.
Liberty is trying to decide whether or not it's worth it to bless the boy.
Bless has a 30-foot reach.
Yes.
30 feet is here from you.
Which side of the
You're
arena
over
are we
there.
sitting? Okay.
Can I see any signs of
I also
like
I also have a feeling that magic would probably be detected if it was altering with the game.
Yeah, I'm looking for signs of don't fuck with what's happening in the ring magic going on.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
I'm going to do that as well.
Sure, both of you.
18.
Yeah, I
18?
did not see shit.
Okay, so Rin, you've done some amount of dungeon delving in your time. You've done some amount of burglary. There are certain runes that can be carved into finer materials to make it so that you can do certain area of effect things. There are a few runes. It's possible that you could find a section that isn't fully covered, but it does appear to have a dampening magic rune gate around the cage itself.
Gotcha. I lean
Not-
over to
Yeah.
the other two and say, if y'all want to fuck around with the match, you're probably gonna not want to do it from here.
The toad goes first.
I have faith in the boy.
Understood.
should have been rolling all these dice while you guys were doing this stuff.
I mean, I can talk more if you want.
Yeah, you guys keep talking.
Lovely weather we're having, isn't it, DM?
Oh yeah, keep talking to the DM. He's trying to roll dice.
I was gonna say Kel, and I like had a brain fart. And I said DM, so it's like whatever.
I have the power now. All of you take 40-10 psychic damage because I want to.
I mean, I feel like we take that already, but
Yeah, that's true. Valid.
No.
we're here, aren't we?
Playing a game with me is like playing a game while constantly dealing with the effects of vicious mockery.
That's what being friends with you is like.
Honestly, yeah. Just a little bit.
It keeps you on your toes.
So at the very beginning, the Pode lunges forward and sinks a pretty big bite on the majority of Zephyr's body as he is quite stunned because he thought he was fighting dogs too. But he very quickly gathers himself, and as he's still in the clutches, he lets out a blood-curdling war cry and brings the sword down with a crit on the head of the toad.
My boy.
That is first round
So
of combat.
It's dead.
The horn has not stopped blowing.
Darian is loudly when Darian sees the crit, not crit, but clearly it's a heavy blow. He's cheering.
Perfect.
Rin shoves the horn into Darian's face, like the mouthpiece end, so that Darian can blow it.
Oh, I thought you meant like you blew it into his face.
No. I realized halfway through what I was saying that was probably what you were gonna think. So I was like, no, I shoved the mouthpiece in your face.
I wasn't.
Guys,
Do it.
that's not sanitary. You're gonna give him COVID.
Do it.
Code
Do
doesn't
it.
exist.
Do it. Do
Shut
it.
Up. Shut up. I was going to say initially when you grabbed it, until you stated that you grabbed it with your tail, which means that Darian wouldn't have seen it. Darian was gonna say like, "Get to." Darian like looks at it and like looks at you and like does like a slight nod, but like a later, like I'll do it later. Like I see this.
Rin has no pupils or like sclera or irises, but you have never seen someone roll their eyes as hard as he is rolling his.
I really wish I had thaumaturgy.
Okay, and
I don't know if you guys have ever seen a dad cheer at like a game or anything like that.
we don't have to talk about it.
It's
The
fine because
toad.
I did volleyball for a year, and no, I never did.
No, exactly. I was actually asking because I'm not familiar with the concept, so.
It depends. Okay, my dad is not a cheering type, but I've seen other people's dads cheer. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. It is hysterical watching people's dads cheer for them. My favorite is I had a good friend whose number was 45, I believe. And every time he was on the field, we would just hear from the stands, "Come on, 35!" And that like every time the ball got near him, is just, "Come on, 35!" Every single time.
Did he drop the ball because of it?
Drop the ball. He's playing soccer. He better not be dropping the ball. The ball should already be on the ground.
I didn't catch soccer. I was still visualizing baseball here because that's where I'm familiar with it.
No, I hate baseball.
in our fantasy world, however, at the moment.
Oh yeah, I suppose I've got
Second round of combat. The toad, stunned by the massive blow from the first thing that Zephyr gave it, takes a bit more of a circuitous route around, being a bit more cautious. It gives goes in for another bite. Does get a good hit in, but Zephyr uses that to recklessly attack, and has been going for a neck strike. Did end up doing a decent amount of damage. In fact, the blood that has been coming down from the forehead wound from the frog has begun blinding it, and the next attack that it made was a crit fail, landing it face first in the dirt before being able to pick itself up. But Zephyr still used the opportunity to get a good hit in on the other side of the neck.
Yeah.
I'll never understand you.
I do want to say though, I'm glad that Jesse made the joke that I was going for, because like Kel went in the direction like, oh yeah, I'm totally familiar with it. It's like, no, it's the punchline is the opposite here.
I mean, hey, I had three younger sisters, and he came to all of my baby sisters' volleyball games. I'm not bitter about it at all.
Oof.
You see, ordinarily I would believe you, except that you said it with that exact tone, which makes me not believe you.
Zephyr uses the frog's being off balance to get in another good hit, but the frog does have one trick under its sleeve, and in its desperation, gets in a good bite on Zephyr and swallows him.
What the fuck?
Yep, there it is.
The crowd around you that have has a small crowd has gathered, and with the cheering that has been going on, the side that has been cheering loudest for the frog gives a hearty cry as the side that has been rooting for Zephyr is in stunned silence before a sword pokes out of the bottom of the frog and cleaves it almost in twine as it describes a large arc through the air, blood splattering a half-crest halo that splits the frog in two. The frog is dead.
He went full
That
Hercules,
does
boys. He
draw
went full Hercules.
a very large cheer out of Liberty.
Just because I reference your god doesn't mean you get to cheer.
Rin is leaning
was
on
not
the
the
horn
crescent, it's him
so
coming out.
hard he's almost blue in the face.
That's impressive.
There is much yelling from Darian.
Zephyr, on his part, gaining a bit of confidence that the lack of cognitive function that is brought with raging very much gets pumped up by the shouting and begins shouting back at the crowd before a few armed guards are brought in. One retrieves his scabbard and he is escorted out of the ring.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Oh, fucking great. What are you talking about? You got attention, you probably got bets up. Darian probably made a good profit. Everyone's won.
Out of curiosity,
I
was
don't
Darian
understand
noticeable
these
from
games.
Severe's point of view?
Say again?
Was Darian's eccentric loudness noticed from Zephyr's point of view?
You have no idea. You're going to have to ask Zephyr yourself.
Fair enough.
Oh, you have to bond with your son. Are you okay?
Oh, no.
Don't be
I'm
an
not sure you'll
ass.
be able to handle this.
Living out the real fantasies here in D&D.
That father and son bonding moment. Yes!
Did I? I'm not familiar with the concept. Did I bet?
That's why I said we're living out our fantasies.
DM, did I bet 50 or 100? I honestly don't remember.
50.
Ah,
You
I should've
did
bet
50.
Yeah, you can't make me forget. It was 50.
Okay, that's
You're
fine.
not getting more gold out of me than you deserve.
I should have bet.
You
100.
didn't have that much confidence in your son.
No, I just realized that I didn't have that much money.
So what are you all doing?
Darian's already like, well, no, I guess he would claim the money first.
Liberty is headed down to go
Darian,
catch up the
Priorities,
boy.
guys. Priorities.
As soon as Darian starts walking towards the moneylender, Rin grabs his collar and drags him towards where Saphir will be coming out.
Okay, I'm gonna
Liberty's
go
headed
ahead.
that way too.
I will. Was it like a stadium with like seats, or is everyone standing?
Most everyone's standing.
Okay. As Darian was heading towards the table, he backhands Zephyr's shoulder like a "Come on, let's go."
You mean Rin?
I do. I do actually.
We're
As you
not
guys
the same.
as you guys pass through the low wall that retains the moneylenders from everyone else, and that section where Zephyr had been taken away earlier, you see the guards that have been escorting Zephyr, who is covered in blood and bile and stomach acids. He looks and smells horrible, but the grin on his face is enormous.
Rin does everything possible to catch Zephyr's attention.
Go ahead and make a performance check for that.
Liberty's headed straight to Zephyr because she doesn't care about the money lending table.
No, I mean I would say that if Rin like pulled me aside, then I would have gone. So all three of us would have headed down there then.
Yeah, you guys are all three down there.
Okay.
Darian, please tell me that you have prestidigitation.
I don't. Wait, I do. I think I don't.
You're a wizard. How do you not have prestidigitation?
I don't have every spell in the
It's the
damn
best
list.
spell. It's the best cantrip.
Jesse, you said that
thaumaturgy.
Liberty was approaching Zephyr.
Yes.
Okay. As you get a bit closer, one of the armed guards stretches out a hand in a stop motion and says, "Please, no, stay behind the wall. Please do not bother the fighters." However, Zephyr, that will knock him out of his revelry enough to be able to recognize, "Oh no, I know her. It's fine. It's fine. Hi, Liberty." And at that point in time, he'll see Rin trying to get his attention behind, and Darian. "Oh, you all stayed."
No shit, genius.
Darian is
All right,
beaming with
let's see.
pride.
Liberty is like trying not to touch too much because he's covered in all of the ick, but also trying to figure out like how much is actually his blood. How
Rin
badly
doesn't
hurt
give a
is the
shit and
boy?
smacks him on the shoulder.
Yeah. Probably with the smack on the shoulder, you'll see that he does it. He's not too hurt. He's hurt. Like he has some scratches and bumps and bruises, but he's not bloodied.
Bumps and bruises.
Oh wait, hold on. He is just bloodied.
All right, then. Swallowing back a little bit of bile, she's going to put her hand on his shoulder and go, "That was well fought. You did very good." And whisper a little prayer under her breath and do a little cure wounds for him.
Okay. He'll suddenly feel a little better, and will appreciate that.
6 points.
I don't know those kinds of spells.
No, you can't.
Because you don't play classes that take care of people.
Lol.
Well, I can, but not in the same state they came here with.
I mean, the last
how
time you
did it
did, you
look
also
from where
had
Olive-
Black Dragon.
How did it look from where all of you were? Where were all of you?
Rin turns slowly and then points to where we were.
Okay. Oh, it must have looked great from up there.
Yes.
Did I?
And let me tell you, the harmonics in this place are fantastic, he says, holding up the horn.
Could not hear anything that was going on over these two cheering and shouting and blowing that thing.
You're welcome.
I tried to do what you said. I went for the neck, and it seemed to work.
Yeah. I mean, he's dead, isn't he? That's all you got to do.
He is. Yes, I did make sure of that.
You certainly did. Although next time, try not to go inside it next time.
That was not intentional, but I was expecting not to expect something, so doesn't count.
I mean, yeah, fair's fair. Using my own logic against me.
Darian leans over. How does that feel, Rin?
Yeah, can't really be surprised.
You did excellent. You truly did. You did.
I guess. I did do pretty good, I guess.
Now, Darian, important question. What were the odds?
I don't understand the concept of odds, actually.
There are odds for and against a certain person. If there are odds against them, you'll typically make a lot of money when you bet on them.
5 to 1?
It was not 5 to
Oh,
1.
come on.
Hey, DM, what were the odds?
3 to 1.
I
3 to 1 is good.
let me put it this way. When approached very soon, as you start thinking about that, and as Rin asks the question, the half-elven gentleman comes, hands Zephyr a sack of gold, says, "You did well. If you want to do more fights, maybe not today, feel free to come through again. I'll keep your name on record. And you, sir, I believe that you also made a bet." And he hands you a sack of gold.
Thank you.
As you look in it, there are 125 gold pieces in it.
Okay.
Rin spikes the horn on the ground and points at Zephyr and says, "I told you."
Well, and he reaches in and pulls out 5 gold pieces. I guess this technically belongs to you then?
Damn, Skippy.
Fine. That was a lot more fun than I expected. Thank you, Rin, for making it so I got to do that.
Yep.
Anyways, and he
And
kind
thank you,
of starts.
and thank you, Darian, for supporting me in my endeavor. He says, doing a very poor
Through the
imitation
horn.
of Zephyr.
Darian gives a sideways glance at Rin.
Shut up.
Liberty just mutters something under her breath about you're a softie.
Which one is she referring to?
I enjoy Hallmark. What's your point?
Oh.
Rin says
Okay, that was my
apropos
new
of
favorite
nothing.
canon piece of lore.
Gonna have to figure out what Hallmark is now.
It's a theater company.
It's
Yeah, that
Yeah.
actually that checks out.
particularly from Hot Sang, for no reason at all.
I feel like Hallmark is a halfling invention.
Definitely
I'm just finding
like
that.
a Gwendolian halfling theater company. It is so
It is settled.
saccharinely sweet.
Yeah,
Over the top.
that checks out.
It is settled. Kitty is in a bowl on the bed.
I'm fine going home, but I would like to not walk through the streets like this.
Yeah.
Is there some?
What's the matter? It's just guts.
Yes, but I am making tracks.
Yeah?
Darian
point.
has been, after like his ending of the conversation, he's been prestidigitating, been cleaning.
Okay, it doesn't take much. Couple castings of it, and you've more or less cleaned the gunk off. Thank you. All right. Well, wouldn't mind doing that again eventually. But did any of you have anything else to do?
Nah.
I found what I was looking for.
All right.
On their way,
I am not sure how to get out of here now.
That way.
Points in a random direction.
I was gonna say it points in 2 different directions.
No, he definitely points in a random direction.
Right back into the arena.
We
Just
fight our
fight
way out.
all of the bosses
I
to
like
escape.
it. Boss rush.
Oh god, no. I always hated those levels.
Are we doing speedruns now?
Pause. I mean, it only took him like 3 rounds to kill the frog. Well, three and a bit.
I was piggybacking off the boss joke. 0% completion in 5
so
minutes.
we're headed back out.
All right. I do believe we're gonna call it there
Aw.
as you guys begin exiting.
Oh
I
my
do
God,
have.
11:21.
Yeah, it's a bit late. We didn't play for too long, but I feel like we got a decent way into the story. And for the next bit, there is something I need to have a little more planned.
Sure. I'm busy plotting out how I'm gonna make Hallmark movie references in the next episode.
Oh,
I hate you so much.
You're welcome. Is the word you're looking for?
I will say though that there is a theater district in Cortizo, and the main theater there is the Odium of Silence. That is on the Emir side. The entertainment district in general is on the Emir side, though the Colosseum is not connected to the entertainment district. But yeah.
Yeah.